Hello, everyone, and welcome back to round number 5. Sorry about the long-ish delay. There was an investigation going on in one of the games, and that has now been solved. But we're going to get into round number 5 here between Ryan and David. David bringing us back with another Doffy deck, and it looks like Ryan is going to be the first to represent Katakuri.
I'm still shocked there's been 3 Doffy players on stream. Is this just going to be a trend from now on?
And no Katakuri players, which is what we kind of both anticipated the field would
Yeah.
probably be.
One thing to note, though, the Doffy player did have winner Dons, I believe.
I did see one, yes.
So that is keeping in track with max rarity Doffy players on stream.
Well, the other thing to note, the Katakuri player has Katakuri sleeves.
True.
That is the ultimate max rarity so far.
And he is also rocking the championship mat, which I think was the top 32 mat, was it?
You might be right here. He's using the Don sleeves as well.
Yeah.
And obviously alt art leaders. You can only have alt art leaders. I mean, if you're not rocking an alt art leader
I'm a big fan of peasant leaders. Okay.
Yeah, look, I usually play the most basic rarity of all, but you know,
there's something therapeutic about beating someone with a max rarity deck with your poverty rarity king deck at locals, and you just know everything about that match was wrong. It's alrighty. So ideally, I'm assuming the Katakuri player said he's going second. It's a bit rough because that is also Doffy wants to go first. So I guess if you want to play around it, you might want to go first as Katakuri, but I don't know. Katakuri into Big Mum on curve is so good that I would never want to pass that up.
Yeah. Being able to get to 10 first and then just dropping the bomb. And then you drop the bomb again back to back.
Look, I don't know if this is other regions as well, but my locals, we've been calling back-to-back Big Mums war crimes. Because, it almost just solidifies a win if you can resolve 3 Big Mums.
Well, I heard someone say the other day, when they're playing Lin leader, people will actually say swing into your mum. And I'm not sure how I feel about that in terms of openly saying that, at locals or at any event, to be quite honest, unless it's privately hosted in the premise of your own home. I don't think
not an official sanctioned tournament.
I don't think that should be openly mentioned, but it looks like both players are actually going to mulligan and then try to start again here. We're going to see how this one plays out.
Wonder if next set with a green purple Doffy, if we'll have that on stream every round as well.
I like seeing these set 1 leaders. I know we're only at set 3 and there's still not that many, but I still do like seeing the resurgence of these leaders, right? Last set we saw nothing but Zorro. We still saw some Law, Kid. Yeah, it was just and now that we get to see Doffy come back again, I just really enjoy that kind of stuff. And
turn 1 winner
Turn 1 Doffy, nothing.
Winner done.
No, but no.
That's the most important part. Truth. We can't tell if it's max rarity or not.
Don't worry about what you play on turn 1. Worry about the 1 Don you put out. And I think I saw Ryan playing the mix match Don. I hate that. I don't like the multiple different Dons in different spots. Is that just Sanji?
Yep. So Sanji is an insane card. 2k counter, so already good.
Yeah.
2 cost, good for going second.
Yeah.
And it's Don 2. When he attacks, you can add the top or bottom card of your life to your hand, and then put the top card of your life into top card of your deck into life.
Nice.
So it's effectively just draw 1 on swing for 2 Don.
Oh yeah, true. And if you've already seen your life, you're actually able to kind of understand what you're drawing into, right? Yeah, nice.
Turn 2 Doffy, good to set up, so he's not too far behind.
Yep.
It's max rarity though so far. Just
Nothing like those
conveniently
max
pointing that
rarity
out.
Doffy players.
And look, so far the Katakuri is max rarity as well. So, like, these guys have taken this game seriously, which is good to see. And then he just did 5 not into your mum, but into your son, really.
And there's a display of random Don.
Oh, you love to see it.
No, you don't. You really don't.
There's a really cool Japanese tutorial posted about a month ago, and it was them explaining why they used red, like 3 different colored Dons.
Yeah.
Because they were keeping track of their deck order with lore.
Oh.
And because technically it doesn't fall under note taking, it was
That's
legal.
nuts.
But like,
that's nuts.
It's such a grey area for rules.
Yeah.
It's like,
just gonna block the leader swing here.
yep, and then 2 with Sanji. Take the top card of your life.
I think that was a Gecko Moria that's going to be comboed out to get rid of the Sanji swing. Yep.
And then just plays the Searcher. So check top 4 for a Big Mum Pirates or a Sanji.
It's so nice to be able to, be able to grab, obviously, a Big Mum Pirate, which is obviously crucial to the deck, but also being able to grab the Sanji as well, which is a 2K. It's nothing like it, right? Having multiple targets, multiple search options, and being able to, pick and choose what benefits you, obviously, a 2K or like a card to play. Fantastic.
It does make it a bit interesting that, like, well, they added the Sanji.
Yeah.
But, like, their solution to allowing Sanji to be searched is to just make it search 1 less card.
Yeah. Yeah. And still playing off the max rarity here.
Yep.
That's an expensive deck. If Ryan has max rarity, this deck, that is an expensive boy.
Look, the toughest card would probably be the Brules, which are store champs only. So, considering that's been out for even less than the actual set.
Well, considering that, like, the alt-art puddings were probably up there.
Oh, true.
In terms of, what price they're at. I can definitely say that 4 of them would have cost you like $1,000 on launch if you got them on day 1.
Yeah. Is this 10 winner, Don? Jeez.
The man knows how to flex. But you know what would be hilarious? If his last Don was just a basic Don you get out of a pack.
Alright, plays the Kuma. We've seen this card numerous times today.
Such a great combo card, right? Being able to play the Pacifista from hand if he gets KO'd, and it's a blocker.
Yep. And one of the Pacifistas will block, the other's a 6k beat stick. Like, both are good options.
Literally. So you're not upset with, like, that combination of cards.
Yeah. He swung 9k into the Sanji. That's
Does this? All right, let's talk about this here. Is the Sanji really that good for you to warrant dropping everything onto it? I mean, let's be fair. He might not have had anything else to do, but are you really that worried about the Sanji?
You do need to
get rid of it. Sure.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know. He must have absolutely nothing else. Alright, plays the Cracker. Really good card. Don 1, if you have less life than your opponent, gain double attack of 1k.
Yep.
So it's a 7k double attacker. And trigger, discard a card, play this card from life.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So, really good beat stick.
And Ryan was able, with the leader swing, look at the top card of his life, and he did end up putting it to the bottom.
Yep.
A lot of shenanigans with this kind of deck, where for those that don't know about the Katakuri leader, you can look at your life, your opponent's life. There's a lot of trigger cards that also come from the Katakuri deck as well, making it available for you.
That's the third Cracker scene.
Yeah, the third alt-art Cracker scene. Is that Soju-King?
Yes. That's what I'm thinking. I never would have expected Soju-King.
I think that is alt-art Soju-King, yeah.
Oh, it's not manga though. Like,
no, I mean it's not. I mean it's still.
Still pretty good.
It's still higher rarity, not max rarity.
It's good to see Soga King getting used. I think that card's like
Underrated?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think
agree.
of a good way to say it. I think
I agree.
that draw 2, discard 2 is always going to be like a relevant effect. Just especially if the game starts heading towards these big bombs with no counter value, so like you can just start fixing your hand up.
Yep. Absolutely
And
agree.
bounce a 5 cost less to hand, who cares? That's great tempo swing.
Yep.
I am a bit worried that it is going into turn 4 soon, and Doffy only has 2 cards on board.
Yeah, not a position that you're normally used to seeing, and now that he's dropped the Soja King down, he can't actually use the leader effect. And I don't know, he was able to look at the top 5, I think, with the Doffy card that he played, but I think that's now close to being back to blind.
It will be, because he'll draw for turn. So he's seen 4 of them so far, and this is the new Katakuri, so he gets to put a card into life. Top or bottom. Yep. And looks like he's putting the Soga King on the bottom. Just say goodbye. Such a huge tempo swing. Like,
well, they've bounced a card each now. Yeah, exactly right. Like, kind of one to the other. Obviously, giving your opponent more life is very hit and miss, but you're still not too upset about getting rid of that Soja King because, like you said, the ability to fix hand with that effect is so strong.
One thing to note is the Doffy player discarded a 9-cost Mihawk off the Soga King effect to draw 2 discard 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like it's a super interesting discard because in this matchup you sort of want that beat stick to be able to threaten life, but he hits nothing in the deck, like because he can't hit the Katakuri, he can't hit the Big Mum.
Yep.
He can hit the pudding, but like, do you really want to pay 9 to remove a pudding?
Correct.
Like,
yeah.
I think, if he didn't play Katakuri and played like a cracker, that Mihawk would have been insane. But thinking on if he wants to resolve this trigger.
Yeah, he's looking at his hand now.
Oh yeah, Paris.
Yeah. Prospero, yeah.
It is one thing I love about Yellow. You can sometimes just sort of establish a board for free just by discarding cards from hand.
Oh, and not even that. Like being able to like fix your own life to be able to like make sure that you hit those triggers. And wow, just plays another Soja King right there and is able to bottom deck the Prospero straight off the life. But you're not upset about this if you're Ryan, right? So you took the life, you've now played it off the trigger, and then David has forced to play the Soja King in response to bottom deck that. So realistically, what have you lost here if you're Ryan? You took the life anyway.
Yeah. You
got to play it for free.
You did discard a card for it.
Yeah, sure. I don't think you're too upset about that, though.
Yeah, no. I think David really took one for the team, though, because that was not a max rarity Paris. So he's really trying to keep Ryan back into full max rarity mode.
He's like, get that out of here, man. If that was a higher rarity, I'd let you have it, but not today.
Legit. It's like exact same reason why Ryan put the Soga King on the bottom of life, so you can't really see that it's not manga. Like, they're just both being really generous with each other.
They know that they're on table one. They know that they're streaming. They're on stream. Yep. They're just like, you know what, man? We can't have any of that kind of stuff here. I'm surprised. I mean, we can't hear the audio, but I'm surprised that they haven't really said anything about their Don as well, not being the maximum rarity. But he's going to play. Is that the big?
What is the max rarity Don though? Is it just like?
I'd say it's like all the Altas that you get from the regionals, right? Like the event one.
Would it just be like 10 Luffy Don or like 10 Chopper Don, like
or Nami, or yeah? But I reckon that one of each would be the ultimate Lex.
Yeah. Okay.
He has played the Big Mum now. On his 10 Don turn.
Yep. And hopefully next turn, another 10-drop Big Mum comes down, and then the turn after, another 10-drop Big Mum comes down, and then that's the game.
The ultimate dream, right? Like that's
it's called War Crimes for a reason.
Yeah, that's obviously what you want to see. And for those that don't know what the 10 cost 12k Big Mum does, or Charlotte Lin on play, if your leader is a Big Mum pirate type, place up to 1 card from the top of your deck at the top or bottom of your life, then trash up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life. So it's literally a +2 in its own regard, being able to regen your own life and being able to crit your opponent's life. So they will not get the trigger. It will be trashed, which is insane.
If it added to hand, the card would still be insane. Like,
but having that effect of putting it straight to the drop, and the benefit of the Katakuri secret of bouncing one of your opponent's cards into their life, you can kind of chain that up if you know that you're not going to take their life on the next swing, right?
Yeah. So, like, if he swung leader first, then did Katakuri to put Sogeking in life, he could have put that on the top and then burnt it with the big bump. So it's just like a 2-turn removal whilst you establish an insane board and heal one.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly right. And you're seeing the power of it now. Like, you did mention that you were expecting Katakuri to really dominate this meta and this field today. And, we've obviously saw the opposite. It's Doffy that's really, shown.
Double boa. Well, it's a good play. It will defend against the 12 drops. 12Ks.
Yeah. But, I mean, if Ryan just plays another one now, he probably doesn't really care too much about the boas.
And, like, that's another thing. Doffy plays all his cards in rest mode. So even if David was, like, hitting them from turn 2 onwards, he would have just been swinging into board anyways. Like, the game state wouldn't be too different.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably going to lose both boas, I would assume, in this action phase. I think Ryan will just obviously swing 12k, then 8k, and then obviously he'll put one Don underneath his leader and go for the 7 swing anyway. He might even go for more. There you go. He's going to go for
Looks like
9K.
He's going for 9, so...
Yeah.
Is that a Mihawk, do you reckon, maybe?
I think it doesn't matter where he swings. He's going to block with one of them, right?
You'd assume so.
Ryan's going to look at the top card of his life and say to himself, I'm happy with that. Let's leave that there.
I do wonder if Ryan's only looking at his life because he doesn't want to give the opponent knowledge of their life.
I think so. I definitely agree. Knowing that the way to use this leader online is that your opponent also gets to see the life that you're looking at. I believe that he's just trying to fix his own life and giving his opponent as little information as possible.
But it is good to see he is currently 4-0, I believe. And that means whilst Katakuri did get nerfed slightly in the online format, it's still totally fine to play. Like,
if it was you had to reveal your opponent's life and they got to see it as well and that you couldn't look at your own, I would imagine it might turn some people away from playing the deck online. But the fact is that you can still do it for your own life, and that's still super important and still... it gives you card knowledge and advantage, right? Yeah. It's still amazing to play with. So we're just starting to see David really start to lose a couple of cards from hand. He will end up blocking and playing the Pacifista as well. That leaves him with 2 cards now in hand. One of the boas is gone. Mihawk does survive, but not really a big investment from Ryan here.
Yeah. Ryan leaving 4 Don up, that's a odd amount. It means he's probably
what are you looking at, like keeping 4 Don up if you're Ryan here.
So there is the 2-cost counter, which is gain 5k.
Yep.
So that's probably what he's holding out for, maybe to deal with Mihawk.
But I don't think the buzz cut because there's no real reason for it at all. But yeah, you're talking about Ikoku.
Yeah, Ikoku's sovereignty.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I can really think of. I have seen people run the other 1-cost counter, which sort of lets people use Katakuri effect. Personally, I'm not.
You think he might be running Thunderbolt?
He might be, but that's not a counter. That's
true. It's a main. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, that won't actually do anything for him leaving it up now.
Don't get me wrong, I think Thunderbolt's an insane card.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's crazy good. But yeah, not really worth having it in your hand right now, right? The only one is Ikoku that has the counter effect. So, unless he's got 2 of them. But, yeah, because even in that sense, wouldn't you attach 2 more Don somewhere and swing with that? But, yeah, okay. Well,
yeah. Because, like, even another 2 Don on Katakuri would have threatened the Mihawk a slightly bit more.
Correct.
And, like, force another card out or force a different blocker. It's just...
And David now is actually swung with lead. He's paid one and he's got the vanilla gecko from top, played it in rest. Just kind of establishing that board presence a little bit more now.
Gonna swing 8.
Yeah, Pacifista swinging 8. Maybe at the secret. Yeah. And not even hesitating.
Just does.
Letting it go straight away. 2 cards in Katakuri's hand, so maybe...
It is running low, so he does need to save it.
Opting to kind of keep it. But you would have thought that if he had the availability last turn, he would have dropped another Big Mum down for 10. Grabs it, knows it's a trigger. He did get to look at that previously. Yep. And the Big Mum being 12k, it's not a secret. It's like insane to have that as an SR.
Discarding a 2k to play... I've had a smoothie, that's it. Is a bit weird. Card is good though, it's just when it attacks it can take a life and gain 2k.
Yeah. And it's a 5k as well, right? So it's not too bad, like, for the board presence.
Can just swing no investment anyways.
Yep.
I actually prefer it over Cracker just because if you encounter a Nami player and you need to keep your life, like you need to deal your own life to yourself, Smoothie lets you do that. It's like one of the few cards that let you take your own life and turn it into hand advantage.
Yep.
Just thinking.
I mean, this is the point where, like, you know, you kind of close to make or break. You know, we're in round 5 now. After this game, we'll be beyond halfway. You don't really want to be, you know, making any rash decisions. You don't want to be like making a bad decision and then all of a sudden you go like 4-1 and then you start to like spiral and you lose your next couple of games. There is a lot on the line for these players, considering it's a 330 man event.
Yeah, that's
every game counts here. Every round is super important. And I think that it's very, very crucial for these guys to just take your time, play your game, and the later the day gets, the stronger the opponents are going to be because they're also going to be 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. So definitely a lot on the line for all these players.
You do really want to hit that 6 and 7-0 just to confirm yourself.
Absolutely. Lock in some of the admirals.
32. It's really like he's got 2 plays in his hand, obviously, because like he's not just doing a single thing straight off the bat. And like if he swings 5k with Smoothie first, that I think that's a telling sign that it's a Big Mum coming. But if because he's like separating it into 2 5ks, it might be a Shirahoshi
again. Yeah,
it could be like a Shirahoshi to try and fix hand.
Well, he's going to swing with lead with 8, and then he's probably just going to look, I would assume, at his top life and figure out if that's where he wants to keep it.
I assume you'll swing into like Pacifista or something.
You do need to start dealing with this board, but Big Mum being a 12k is really nice to try and like pressure the Mihawk, and doesn't like what he saw, puts it to the bottom.
Because I feel like you're not too stressed if you can deal with the board, because like you've still got 3 other Big Mums in your deck, so you can like easily see another one.
Yep. And Ryan not feeling too upset about taking life in like the coming turns, because again he'll be able to, you know, regen a few up if he needs to, and opting to go 7 here.
Is that? Yeah.
David thinking if he wants to block. I think it would be into Pacifista, but choosing the Boa to block, he's going to be able to draw up and then stop that swing from coming through.
I would be cautious of blocking this, just because it feels like that Big Mom's going to swing into the Mihawk then.
And then you've got nothing to protect it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's put 3 under there, so that's 8k.
Yeah. So he's got $5 left, so he can go 17 into Mihawk if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't think there's really a need. Yeah, I think if you swing 12k with Big Mum, still needs to get rid of 2 2ks in hand, if he has it.
Well, I believe Dave's got 4 up, so that's reading double Love.
Yeah. I'm looking at David, and he has drawn the card from Boa Oh, he's thinking if he wants to counter to keep Boa alive.
If he loves us. Yeah, here's the love. Draws a card.
Brings him to 9.
$14 Mihawk, I assume.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Does have 1 Don available as well, just in case. But yeah, I think at this point, yeah, you're not too upset. He's still leaving 3 Don available, and he's going to play down.
Paris Pero.
Yeah.
The alt art, so we're fine.
Look at that board.
I'd be sweating.
If you're David?
Yeah, I think Ryan's chilling.
4 life as well, yeah.
And as I said, if he draws a big bum, it's basically just solidifying game.
Yeah.
I find in this sort of matchup, you need to pressure the Katakuri player down to like 1 life before they get the chance to drop Big Mum.
Agree.
Because like if they tap out for Big Mum and they're at 2 life, you can sometimes just like swing for game through it, and like then they just lose. Whereas if you're letting them play Big Mum when they're at 5 life, you're like, oh no. Now I have to deal with 6 life leaders. Like, Whitebeard's bad enough. Like, come on.
This is another thing that, like, you know, we kind of speak about this sometimes. I know we spoke about it a lot in set 2, where black just becomes the new flavor color, and the amount of support that they chuck at it to make it a viable deck straight into the meta is crazy. And now we're seeing it being done with yellow as well, where Katakuri is insane, considering it's only had 1 set to, like, really give it all the support that it needs. And, like, look how dominant it becomes straight away, right? Like, the amount of stuff that it's available to do is crazy.
But realistically, outside of the Searcher and like Peros and Katakuri and Big Mum, those 4 cards, I feel like most of the yellow deck is just whatever you sort of want it to be. Like, I feel like they could have done almost like 30 pack filler cards.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have really mattered. Yeah, you still run the main things. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, Black did the same thing, right? Where you had to run 4 of...
Kuruzan, Sakazuki.
Yeah, exactly. The Admirals, you instantly put 4 of each. It was like the 12 pack.
Yeah.
And they're doing the exact same thing with this as well, and it's really nice to see. Obviously, the Big Mum starter deck does help it a little bit as well. But yeah, it's just great to see that they don't half-bake these colors, and then they're like, oh, come back next set, and you'll get the rest of the package.
Yeah. It's nice that it's playable straight up.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely.
And I do find it interesting because the next lot of support for yellow is actually not Big Mum Pirate stuff. Yeah. It's Wano, so like...
Yeah. You're going to see Ryan here attach 3 Don. Bring him up to 9, I think it is. Looked at his life, puts it to the bottom.
Swinging face for 5. Such an annoying number. It feels so bad taking 5s.
Oh, yeah. And interesting as well, I haven't mentioned this for Ryan on that side either. He's doing it in a very different order than I've normally seen. He's putting the Don on top of his characters or his leader.
Look, technically, according to the rules, it should be under.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, it kind of, like, hides the card that they're swinging in with. It's maybe, I guess, a little bit easier to understand how many Don is attached, but yeah, I'm not really...
I think it's interesting Ryan's also running starter deck Big Mum. It's a really nice card. It's on play, you can either... Your opponent chooses for you to heal 1, or they trash 1 life. So, it's like a mini 10-drop, but only 1 of the effects, and the fact that they get to pick, like your opponent picks, means like they're just going to pick the lesser of 2 evils, and healing 1 is really good still. Like,
oh, absolutely. Or getting them to trash 1 while you play a body on the board.
Yeah, like, and it's at the perfect life for it because like going down to 2 is sort of risky because like that's Big Mum and then like 2 swings he has to deal with on 1 life.
Mm,
Um, whereas letting him heal 1, it's just for a card advantage.
yeah. Yep.
Oh, Mihawk hitting it though, that's actually super relevant.
That's nice.
That's a lot of tempo lost.
That's nice.
Yeah, so Ryan's starting to build his hand back up because he's done a turn of not necessarily doing too much. Like Paris died, so that added 1. Big Mum healed him 1, which he then took that life. So it's just nice and slowly building back up. Yeah, going for the magic 8 number. Probably going to swing into the Pacifista then.
It has done a lot of work, that Pacifista. It's stuck around since like the very early days of this game.
Yeah.
And it's just constantly been bugging you. Being able to manage to get your second Mihawk onto the field as well.
Is this a 10-drop Big Mum?
You reckon?
He's not attaching Don, so the fact he's not attaching it makes me feel like it's a big bomb.
Would be pretty nice to kind of put it back into, wouldn't even say back into his favour. Not going to like instantly bring him back into
Katakuri.
Good spot, wow.
And it looks like he's putting...
Pudding.
Yeah. Why not? It's a good play, because then he gets a searcher back to hand.
Yep.
Then if you still swing 8 a Pacifista, you're ripping a lot of cards out.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because if you're David, you're like, do I go down to 1 card to protect a 6k? Like,
yeah, exactly. I don't think you want to. Like, I definitely think that's not the right play. But I'm starting to really enjoy these games going back and forth. Like,
you actually put pudding on the bottom using Katakuri leader effect. Does he not want to draw the cat pudding?
Well, apparently not. I don't think he's seen the other card either.
Yeah. Oh, that's the last cracker gone.
And now he's going to take the... It wasn't a trigger.
He took a quick... Oh, God, double Kuma.
Oh, no.
Blockers for days.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the Queen deck that's going to be coming out next set as well.
The yellow-blue, is it?
Yep. Every list I've seen has like 20 blockers minimum. It's insane. 5k. It looks like a 10-drop Big Mum, I reckon. If you're not using Katakuri effect, you've either got everything lined up perfectly or...
There it is. I think he might have just had the regular SR, so he didn't want to play it, waiting for the alternate, which makes sense.
You got to wait for the alt art, you know?
Yeah, you can't do us dirty like that. That's fair. Respect.
And ends with a love.
How do you feel about this non-interactable cards being able to like burn life and stuff like that? Like, you know, you remember Kaido set 1, it was like -7, you know, trash a life, and that was kind of, that was how do I put this? That was very fair in a sense that you had to neg 7 Don, right? That affects your whole playstyle going forward. Whereas now you're able to drop a 10 cost, which is 12k, your opponent trashes a life that they can't activate, and you get to regen a life in response, and that 12k can attack next turn. What's your thoughts on that whole scenario?
I think it's a really, really strong mechanic. That's putting it politely. All right, like I've heard a lot of complaints about that card from locals.
Yeah.
And look, totally fair. If you like, it is extremely hard to play around because, like, how do you play around it? Do you go to 0 life so you can't trash that life? Like,
Exactly. No, exactly right. Yeah, I agree.
um,
It's insane. Like you almost don't get punished for it.
yeah. I still think
Ooh, wow.
the comparison you made to Kaido though is super relevant though because, like, I remember in set one the 10-drop Kaido was such a huge threat. They're like, oh, you just drop that 10 cost Kaido, which board wipes and it's game, right?
Mm,
But like the whole point was you needed to kill. Oh, you needed to threaten Kaido enough before he could drop it, so that
correct.
like as soon as he dropped it, he loses. And I think that's very similar to Big Mom. It's just way harder because they have so many cards to play out of life.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's why it's like it feels like Kaido was balanced and will always be that. Negging 7 Don is insane.
Mate, just wait till next set. Blurple Kaido,
Yeah, I've heard.
greatest deck of all time. Do you want to run multiple 10-drop Kaidos from different
Greatest
colors?
deck of all time, he says.
Yep. I've spoken to the local
Oh.
scene. Spoken to the local scene, like, who's playing Blurple Kaido, and there's like 7 of them putting hands up. Deck's not even that good. It's just so much fun.
I think I'm all on the Vivi or Rebecca train at that point, but to be honest, I don't play as much as I used to or as much as I'd like to anymore anyway. So
Look,
I say all
both-
these things, but
both are exciting.
yeah, absolutely agree. Absolutely agree.
But yeah, it's going to be an interesting turn. Like here,
Was able to
So-
obviously get the pudding out, and it looks like David was able to play I can't remember her name now, but on play she's able to draw
Yep.
2, discard
Kaya
2.
draw 2,
Kaya,
discard
that's
2.
it, yeah. Really nice in the Nami deck. You don't really see it too much in other blue decks, but it is really nice.
I think
It's a fixed hand as well. She's a 2K, right?
Yeah.
2K counter?
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yep.
relevant.
every
in all
deck
aspects.
generally tries to run her now from like
Yeah.
at 4. It's kind of insane. Playing it is such a feels bad though because it means
That's
like
what I mean.
you have literally no other play and you need to fix your hand. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
checking his life, swinging probably 9k at Mihawk. David's got 1 card in hand, so just forcing the blockers out is probably the key thing here. Now no cards in hand, so like,
Yeah.
I think you just swing 12k, right? It doesn't matter if you put Don on or
No,
not.
I don't think you put Don on at all. Yeah, he's just going to attach it onto the
Did
pudding
he
instead.
play pudding this turn or last turn?
No, last turn, I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was there from the last turn. Yeah,
No, that was this turn. Oh no, last turn.
I don't think it was this turn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was last turn. Has another one in life as well that he hasn't. He's still opted
Yeah.
to keep at the bottom. Yeah.
Oh well, look, you've cleared Doffy's hand and he's only got a small board now.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's
Yeah, not really anything threatening. The Kaya's not going to do anything for you. Obviously, the Mihawk still very relevant to keep poking, and the Pacifista we've seen how much
yeah.
of an annoyance it is.
But I think if you're Ryan, you're just relaxing. Life's good on hot dog stand. Jesus Christ. All right, let's see what Doffy can do. Blind hits a Perona, can't play it.
Not hitting it.
Oh, we've got a minute
reveals-
left in round.
Blind reveals it. It shouldn't be that much longer. This has been going on for about 30-something minutes now.
Yeah, no, a minute left in round.
Yeah, wow.
So I think if you're the yellow player, you're laughing because you just
Well, you're on you're on
3 life. But you know, you just go for board control next turn because you've got a pretty good field. You can probably clear board relatively painlessly, and you've got Katakuri and Big Mom to heal you. Like you can, there's nothing wrong with putting back in life with a Katakuri. And
Yep. Agree with you there.
So he's going to swing, what, 8k? 7k. So yeah, it looks like he's desperately just going to try and hit a couple of bits of damage out of Ryan's hand. But, like, okay. Then you just block the Mihawk swing every day of the week, surely. So what's he going to do? If the Doffy play top deck to another blocker, I was going to say. Swinging for 5k with Kaya. Forces a card out. And then, yeah, Mihawk just gets blocked. And this is turn 0.
Yeah,
So it goes into...
Time is called, yeah.
So Ryan's going to be turn 1, which means if he goes for board control this turn, he can maybe take a damage next turn. And then if he has 10-drop Big Mom, he just plays that on his final turn to heal one and trash one.
Yeah, literally.
And with the tiebreaker.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, with Katakuri, it is such a grind, isn't it? It's, like...
Yep.
Really
I think this
painful to verse. And I don't even want to see the mirror match, but I can imagine that's even more gross.
I think the one saving grace for David this game has been the fact that only 1 10 cost Big Mum saw play. Right? Or was that the second?
Two.
Okay. Oh yeah, if they were back to back though, I think that would have just been too hard for David to deal with. What are you looking for here? Probably a blocker.
For Ryan?
Yeah. Blocker or Katakuri? Or 7 cost Big Mum, hey? Interesting. So you go 8 Pacifista. Swing into Mihawk surely, and then just drop the 7 cost and call it game.
Kind of looks that way, doesn't it? This is only round 5 as well, Dale. We've got 4 more rounds after this to just see where these players end up. Maybe we might get one of these guys that we've had previously back on stream again if they end up being on table 1. Like, that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
I'd love to see Katakuri versus Lucci on stream. For 2 reasons. One, I think Katakuri is a cool deck. Second, Lucci is a cool deck. And also, I think Katakuri just wipes the floor with Lucci. And I've yet to be proven otherwise, and I want to see someone actually prove it wrong. Trash in the life. And then swinging at the Kaya with pudding. It's looking rough.
Yeah.
I can't see David getting a way out of this.
No, I don't think so either. The board presence is too large. He's got more life than his opponent. Maybe a 1-drop Perona can help you. Not.
It's his final turn, though.
It is his final turn, I know. He's just going to look. I don't even know what you can find from the top that's going to allow you to... And Ryan gets one more turn after this, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So even if you attach all your Don onto leader, able to play something in rest, it doesn't matter because Ryan will just attach everything onto lead and just swing with that. Big Mum. Well, you're not even going to attach everything to lead, but yeah.
Yeah, when you have a 12k, 8k, and a 5k just inherently on your board, like...
Yeah. And you've got more life naturally already. Absolutely agree.
All right, so we've got 7k leader. Looks like the Doffy player's sort of starting to give up.
I mean, again, we spoke about, well, we've spoken about this multiple times, but what is your... What are you searching for?
Yeah. Although, this is actually overtime done, so they didn't actually get to finish. Yeah. So it's going to be deck count, and I legitimately don't know who has seen more from their deck.
I think it might be Ryan. Oh, actually, David was able to play the...
He's played a lot of Doffy.
He has played the... He's played the drop to draw to stuff as well. And this is going to be interesting. Yeah, absolutely. They're counting now.
19 cards. And then, yeah, Ryan's going to count down.
Oh, 22.
Ryan takes it.
Ryan takes round number 5 on the amount of cards left.
Look, I think it was his game anyways if it went into that
agree.
extra turn.
I think it was definitely Ryan's game to lose. So congratulations to Ryan. That is round number 5. Ryan going to go 5-0 now, and we're going to, since it is overtime and that is it, we're going to be back in the next couple of minutes, guys. So we're going to take a quick break. Once done, we will get into round number 6. So make sure you stick around for the second half of today's tournament.
Let's hope Doffy is not on stream though. I can't believe I'm saying I don't want Doffy on stream in this format. But
there's only a couple more minutes to find out, Dale. So we'll be back with 2 new players, hopefully, on stream.